We are in the third section of Chapter 8. It is multiplying polynomials. Let's adjust this camera. Okay. So we're pretty much going to do what we did last section. We're just distributing. Okay. Here, though, we have a binomial, two terms multiplied by a binomial. Okay. It says you can apply the distributive property twice. A useful way to keep track of the terms is called the FOIL method. So let's just multiply like we normally would. We are double distributing. So I don't have one term multiplying to each quantity. I have now two terms. So I'm going to take x and multiply it to x. I know to do this because this quantity is smack dab beside this quantity. And when things are beside each other, that implies multiplication. So x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. Now I distributed to both terms. I've exhausted my options, so I move to the next one. 2 to x is positive 2x. 2 to 3 is 6. X squared plus 5x plus 6. I received four terms, 1, 2, 3, 4. You always should, but your middle two terms can be combined to end up with a trinomial. So we should always get four terms, end up with a trinomial. Let's try it again. Double distribute. X to x, x squared. X to 1, 1x. Negative 4 to x is negative 4x. Negative 4 to positive 1 is a negative 4. We have four terms. We should end up with 3. I have no other x squareds. A 1x and a negative 4 is a negative 3x minus 4. I have a trinomial. Let's try it again. So we had two positives being multiplied to get positive, positive. We have two negatives being multiplied. It depends which one's bigger. You're going to get a negative and a negative. And then here, let's see what happens. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 6x. A negative times a negative. It's always going to be positive at the end. Okay, you don't really need to know that. I'm just showing you there are patterns. X squared, negative 8x, positive 12. All right. I just completed the top row. I want you to pause the video and I want you to complete the middle row. Play the video when you're finished. All right. So this was like normal. P squared, 2p minus 4p minus 8. Y squared, 2y, 5y, 10. Here it's a little bit different. A 2 times an x, technically there's a 1 here. So that is a 2 times 1 is 2. So we have an x, the first x is first, so it's x squared. So try it again here. A 3 times a 3 is a 9n squared. A 3 times a 4 is a 12n. Negative 12n again, and a positive 16. Combine like terms and get 9n squared minus 24n plus 16. (64m squared) 16m minus 16m minus 4. 64m squared These cancel, minus 4. Sometimes the middle terms will cancel each other out. Notice here, the middle terms are different and will cancel each other out. We both have an 8m and a 2 and a 2. Okay? I want you to pause the video. I want you to try 11, 14, and 15. Okay. This one was kind of awkward. A positive 1, a negative 3 is a negative 3x squared. 1x, 24x is 25x. Why did I write 23? And then negative 8 times a 1 is a negative 8. Here, 2a squared. A times a negative 5b, well, none of them are alike, so it's just negative 5ab. Here, negative 6ba. AB and BA are the same thing, so to just pick one order and put it together. Negative 5, negative 6 is negative 11. AB or BA, doesn't matter. And then a positive 15b squared. It is preferred alphabetical order, but I don't care either way. Here, okay, you have the same thing. It's called the difference of two perfect squares, because when I square it, I get a perfect square of 64. And then we get 40 minus 40. Those will cancel. And then 25. That's your final answer. Okay. This here, when you have a binomial times a binomial, also follows the acronym called FOIL. So when you distribute a 2-term and a 2-term, you're going to use what's called the FOIL method. It's first, because you multiply the first ones, then the outer ones, then the inner ones, and then the last ones. So first, the outers, the inners, and the last. So someone might say, hey, go ahead and FOIL those. What they're saying is double distribute in this method will help you remember how to double distribute, going first, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. Okay? So if you see the word FOIL, that's what they're talking about. All right, hold the page. Now we're going to distribute with a binomial and a trinomial. So you're not doing first, outer, inner, last. It's the first one distributes to all the terms, and then the second one distributes to all the terms. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, and then you have to combine like terms. So first, so it's showing the first goes to all 3, and then the second goes to all 3 using the distributive property. So you can do the method of splitting it up and saying 3x to this stuff and 2 to this stuff, or just say x to x squared is x cubed, x to negative 2x is negative 2x squared, x to 1 is 1x, then distribute the second term of a positive 2x squared, negative 4x, and a positive 2. So I have 6 terms. Now I got to combine like terms. X cubed, negative 2, positive 2. They cancel. 1x, negative 4x is a negative 3x plus 2. I want you to try the next one on your own. Pause the video. Watch when you're done. 6 terms. No other x cubes. 7x squared. If you need to put a 1 right here, that's fine. The x's cancel, and minus 9. All right, let's try a harder one. Let's go all the way down here to number 11. All right, we have n squared times n squared, which would be n to the 4th. Same process though. N squared to n is n cubed. N squared to 2 is 2n squared. Then 2n cubed, 2n squared, 4n, negative 1n squared, negative 1n, negative 2. When you clean it up, this is going to come down to n to the 4th, 3n cubed, then 2n squared minus 1n squared is going to be 3n squared, and then 4 minus 1n is a 3n, and then minus 2. It's the exact same process. It's just a lot more exponents. So that's the only difference. So last problem, you try 12, pause the video, try it, and then watch me. All right, so this is why we want to see work, because if there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps, and you don't show me 9 steps and you just give me a final answer, I can't give you partial credit if you got maybe 8 of those steps right. So it's really important to show your work. There's no other t's to the 4th. There is a t cubed. There is another t cubed. So it's 7t cubed. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 2. It's going to be negative 9. And then negative 12. This is a 1 in front of you. If you need to write the 1, that's fine. And then plus 3. Okay. So you don't need to do all of both sides, just the ones that I had circled. I appreciate people sending in notes, but it is not necessary. Just complete the Delta Math assignment that corresponds with this.